The future of medical care and treatment for transgender youth in America is now in the hands of the United States Supreme Court. The justices announced today that they would hear oral arguments in the case of United States versus Skrmetti. Skrmetti is Jonathan Skrmetti, the Attorney General of the state of Tennessee. So last year, the state's legislature passed Senate Bill 1, which prohibits all medical treatments intended to allow a minor to identify with or live as a purported identity inconsistent with the minor's sex, and bans medical professionals from treating purported discomfort or distress from a discordance between the minor's sex and asserted identity. Basically, this law bans doctors from providing medical care like puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries to transgendered people under the age of 18. So the Biden administration and 3 transgender teenagers and their parents sued the state of Tennessee, saying this law is unconstitutional. They say it's a violation of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, and they wanted the courts to step in. Well, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against them, saying the law does not discriminate based on sex and is therefore not a violation of the 14th Amendment. The appeals court allowed the law to take effect, so the Department of Justice appealed again to the U.S. Supreme Court, and today the justices said, yep, we're going to hear this case. Not only does the Biden administration argue this law is unconstitutional, but on top of that, they say it's hypocritical. They argue the law allows for a teenager whose sex was assigned male at birth to be prescribed testosterone to conform to a male gender identity, but does not allow a teenager assigned female at birth to have that same prescription. DOJ's appeal goes through the real medical repercussions of not allowing someone who is transgender to be properly treated, and also argues that these gender-affirming treatments aren't just given out sort of willy-nilly. They require comprehensive assessment to ensure that any intervention is medically necessary. DOJ says not treating someone who is in desperate need of this type of intervention can cause serious psychological harm, depression, substance abuse, and even suicide. They say the court needs to intervene now because Tennessee isn't the only state with a law like this. They say at least 18 other states are doing this very same thing or have already done this same thing. Tennessee lawmakers who support the bill call these types of treatments barbaric, saying these treatments should be stopped because they have unproven benefits and lifelong harms. For his part, the Attorney General of the state of Tennessee has been defending this law since it was enacted last year, saying on X today, "We fought hard to defend Tennessee's law protecting kids from irreversible gender treatments and secured a thoughtful and well-reasoned opinion from the Sixth Circuit. I look forward to finishing the fight in the United States Supreme Court. This case will bring much-needed clarity to whether the Constitution contains special protections for gender identity." The Supreme Court is expected to hear this case during their next term that starts in October.